Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. I always feel like we reach this point on a Friday. Friday. It's definitely not Friday. It's Wednesday. We reach this point on a Wednesday afternoon, and I need to take a really big, deep breath. Do you feel the same way? Oh, been at my desk a lot today. And for anybody that knows me, I don't like that. But I've been doing lots of fun stuff, so I cannot complain at all. Thank you so much, everybody that has joined this afternoon. So it's a beautiful 5:30 in the afternoon, Brisbane time. Let me know if you are here with me for this midweek momentum session. How's your week going? Let me know in the comments if you're watching, type live. If you are catching the replay, type replay. And I love for you to do that because it means that if you can't be here with us, because you're doing some other very important things right now, it means that we can check in later. So it keeps the conversation going. It also lets me know that you've watched it, and I can check in with you and see if there were any key takeaways for you, anything that potentially you found challenging, maybe you disagree, but it's an opportunity for us to touch base and consider or continue the coaching type conversation. So I always love it if you can watch it as a replay and then let me know. And as for the ladies that are here right now watching, please make sure you do let me know that you are live. So either drop live in the comments or a hi or an emoji if you're an emoji woman. Like I am, it's usually the little red dancing lady. It does happen to be in my top list of emojis at the moment. There's a little bit of insight that you didn't need to know about me, I'm sure, today, but you got it anyway. You're welcome. All right. So as we have done in the past couple of weeks for our momentum, our midweek momentum, we've really been talking about some of the challenges and stages that we find ourselves in when we're doubting ourselves or we're overthinking in our midlife. And it doesn't matter. You could be, or you may class yourself, or you may identify as a professional. You might be an entrepreneur. You might be a creative. You might be a high achieving woman who is climbing the corporate ladder and you're feeling a bit burnt out or unfulfilled. Or maybe you're a mum who has devoted years to your family and now you wonder what's next for you. You are probably very dedicated, resilient, ambitious, responsible, but you now find yourself running on empty. And these are the topics, these are the reasons we are here having these conversations. Because without us having these conversations and these sessions, we stay stuck. And we stay stuck in the cycle of overthinking and hesitating and continuing to be of service for everybody else except for ourselves. And we don't want that anymore. It's not that we don't want to look after other people. It's not that we don't want a career. It's not that we, want to feel shame about being dedicated or ambitious. No, none of that. It is about making sure that you get to make the decisions that you want to make that are right for you and that you are aligned. That's what this is all about. So if that resonates for you, please do, as usual, let me know in the comments. And let's kick off our topic for today. All right, so today we're going to focus on rebuilding our confidence in our decisions. And the reason we've moved on to this topic for today is 2 weeks ago, we worked through the different challenges and impacts and costs that we face as a midlife woman who is constantly looking after everybody else and has completely forgotten who we are. Then we next moved on to how to stop overthinking and take action. So it was another great session. You have shared some great insights with me. You've been really vulnerable and you have shared the impact. And just, I learned so much from you ladies. So I know that overthinking has been keeping you stuck. And I know that the women that were on the call, they made a commitment to themselves to take small action to stop overthinking. I would love to know how that went for you. But what made sense for me then was to follow on from that and start to talk about how we can rebuild our confidence, how we can start to trust ourselves again. And I got that because of some of the feedback I received from last week. So some of the things were, okay, well, all right, say I do stop overthinking. Now I actually just feel nervous about making a decision. Or what if I make the wrong choice? What if I regret it? I want to trust myself, but I don't know how anymore. And so because of those messages and knowing that you've been putting others first and you've been following the shoulds and you're doubting your own wants and needs, I know that it can feel impossible to trust yourself again. You've been taught not to. So that's exactly what we're going to dive into today, is how you can trust yourself again. All right. Hey, Pam, nice to have you here with us. All right, so let's talk about how we can do this. Let me ask you this question to get us started. When was the last time you made a decision without second guessing yourself? I'm going to give you a moment to think about that. When was the last time you made a decision without second guessing yourself? If you're anything like I was when I was struggling with who I was, what I was interested in, what was important to me, I'm going to take a guess. It's been a really long time. Now, this happens because we've been conditioned to seek approval. Okay. From childhood, we've been taught to be the good girls, to follow the rules, to make choices that make everyone else happy. So when it comes time to make a decision for ourselves, we automatically seek external validation before trusting our own judgment. And this happens when we work with other people, right? And it's funny because I've just realized that I'm building my team, and my new team member is obviously asking me, are you happy with this? Are you happy with that? And that's a perfect example, right? We're seeking, now there's reasons and we get it, but we can easily fall into the trap of always asking, are you happy with this? Is this okay? What should I do? Do you want me to do this? Should I do nothing until you say it's okay? That's just at work. And then we can sometimes do that in our relationships as well. Well, you know, you've said that you want to go away for a weekend, but then you haven't actually told me where you'd like to go. So, and when I suggested somewhere, you kind of groaned. It sounded like you didn't want to go. So are we not doing that, or are we up? You know, these sorts of examples, right? We're seeking external validation before trusting our own judgment. Then we've also been prioritizing others for so long. So I say this every time. We're putting our family, our work, and obligations first. And so we lose connection with what we actually want. And it's like a muscle that we just haven't used in years. It's like, oh, have I got abs? There's a little twinge in my ab area that I've not noticed before. You know, it's the same sort of thing after doing exercise. I'm like, oh, there's something I didn't know I had. It works the same way. If we don't use it, we lose it. We forget how to do it. And then there's also we fear making the wrong decision. There's this pressure that if we make a choice and it doesn't work out, it means that we've failed. So instead of trusting ourselves, we avoid making any decision at all. And we just don't do anything. And without realizing, sometimes we even start to resent other people, resent the fact that we don't have freedom or flexibility. When really, a lot of it's come down to we're not making any decisions. We're not making any choices. How's that? So I have another question for you. Let me know in the comments with a yes if you've ever ignored your gut feeling, only to regret it later. Have you ever had a moment where you're like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. And I didn't believe it. So I went ahead and, ignored it. And here we go. I'm right where I didn't want to be. Asking for validation from others is one of your worst practices, Brianna. Yeah, okay. So I even need my friend's opinion before making decisions. Yes, of course, we turn to those people because they're the people in our closest circle. So we turn to our friends. That's easily happened. I know. So I've got some friends. We're organising a catch up for the weekend. It's been in the calendar for a while, and we're now like throwing out, oh, do we do a picnic, or do we go to a cafe for a catch up, and whose car will we take, or should we go on our own? We're still seeking from each other to try and please everybody. And do you know what's happening there? No decisions are being made. Absolutely none. We haven't got any further. All right. Hey, Crystal, glad you're here as well. You're saying absolutely. Buena is saying yes. Yeah, we've all at some point ignored a gut feeling, only to regret it later. Oh, I remember the days that used to happen with boyfriends. What was I thinking? I knew he wasn't right for me, but I went out with him anyway. It's been a while since I've had that issue. All right, so let's talk about the real cost. So I did this last week, and I feel it's really impactful to show you, highlight for you, what's the cost to you when you're overthinking or you're not trusting in yourself. Because every time you doubt yourself, you give your power away. You lose some of your strength. You lose some of your essence of who you are. So you waste time and energy constantly second guessing. You stay stuck in decision and you miss opportunities, and you rely on others to validate your choices instead of owning them. And then we start thinking that we need to do a course, or we need to study more, or we need to change our job, or we need to change our relationship, or we need to lose weight to empower ourselves. And really, empowerment comes from trusting yourself. The more you question yourself, so think about this, the more you question yourself, the harder it becomes to hear your own voice. What you do hear is that little itty bitty shitty committee or inner critic. You hear them, you don't hear your own voice. But you know that I believe we can change that. And that's what I really want to talk about with you, is that you can rebuild that trust. So let's go through, excuse me, a little process to rebuild that self-trust, okay? I love, for some reason, my processes are always nice and short, and they're always around the 3 steps. So I've got 3 steps for you today, all right, to rebuild your trust. Let me know what you think of these. Step number 1, start small. This is really about strengthening your decision-making muscle. Excuse me. So as I've mentioned before, it's like a muscle. If we don't use it, we lose it. But the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Okay? So here's an action for you. Start with a small, everyday decision and commit to that. So, an easy one. What do I want for lunch? Instead of overthinking that, instead of researching it, instead of staring into the cupboard, into the abyss of, I don't feel like any of that, make a decision. What do I want for lunch? And have it. That's it. Remember from last week? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or it might be, which book do I want to read? I use this example because I've been gathering a bit of a wish list on books lately. I've had quite a few recommended to me, and now it's, where do I start? So just pick one. Just pick one. Make a commitment to it. Make a decision. Read the book. Find out if you like it. Trust yourself to choose a book. So instead of over-analyzing, make a choice and move on. And definitely this is where it comes in handy, the tool that we talked about last week with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, decide, take action. So what you can do for this one is, for the next 24 hours, practice making a small, confident decision without the overthinking. Without overthinking it. It's either 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, or it's a hell yes, I want to eat that. Hell no, I don't. It's either one of those. Okay, step number 2. Stop asking for everyone else's opinion. How many times have you felt certain about something, you felt really good about a decision, until you told someone else and they made you doubt yourself? I've seen this happen with friends when they were having their children, and they would say, you know, we're pregnant and all of those sorts of things. And a few months down the track, they would tell you, you know, people ask, oh, have you chosen a name? Yes, we've chosen a name. It's Marcus. And straight away, somebody goes, oh, Really? And I've watched them then go away and start researching other names. What was the next on my list? Because it's that response, even though maybe nothing's meant by it, that response has caused you to rethink it. So be really careful how many times you ask or who you ask for their opinion. Seeking advice isn't bad, but when you're constantly relying on others to confirm your choices, it weakens your ability to trust your own instincts. So what you can do here is the next time you have a decision to make, pause before asking for input, because it can be a natural reaction and it's out of your mouth before you even think about it. Pause and ask yourself, what do I feel is right for me? So if you've got a big decision, a little bit bigger than what you're going to have for lunch, try making it on your own before asking for validation. Okay? Don't weaken your decision-making skills, your trust in yourself. And if you are going to ask somebody else, be very intentional about who you ask. Okay, and step number 3, keep promises to yourself. The fastest way to rebuild trust is to follow through on what you say you'll do. The women I speak to that are struggling with self-doubt, a lot of it does come down to they've given away their trust. And then what happens is they don't trust their decisions, so they don't follow through on what they say they're going to do. And then the guilt comes in. And then they feel guilty. And then they start to feel useless. Or I'm no good at that. Well, we don't know, because I actually didn't give it a go. Because you let somebody else make you question yourself. So every time you tell yourself you'll do something but you don't, you send a signal to your brain. I mean, the heart is pretty close to the brain, but your brain, that you can't trust yourself. That's what you're saying up here. That's how your brain is hearing or seeing or interpreting you not doing the thing you said you would do. So unless you're being intentional and there's a very good reason why you're not doing it and you're telling your brain that, it's going to go straight to the, no, you don't trust yourself. You can't trust yourself making decisions. So here's an action. Pick one small commitment. I always use the word small. This is the work I do for you guys or with you guys. Size matters. We want small. One small commitment to yourself this week and stick to it. The beauty of this is it really doesn't matter what it is you commit to, but stick to it. It can be as simple as drinking more water. It can be going for a walk. It can be carving out 10 minutes of quiet time. It can be having one less coffee a day. Small. Okay? Achievable. So, have you thought of one commitment that you can make here? So if you have, I would love for you to have the courage and be vulnerable and share that in the comments below, and let's support each other through this week. Okay? Buena is saying, just realized how many times I overthink what I want to eat. Yeah. I get caught on that one too. I get caught on that one. My sensible brain says, no, you really shouldn't eat that. And then my other brain says, well, why not? What's wrong with that? You can have it just this once. And then I get caught in the loop. So Buena, Crystal, Pam, what is one commitment that you can follow through on this week? Okay. And let's hold each other accountable. Let's support each other through this. I'm not going to share until you share. And there is no judgment. There is no one's giving your opinion. We're not asking for anybody's advice. We're just asking for support. We're making the commitment by writing it down. And as a group, we're going to support each other to achieve it. We're going to support you by celebrating when you do it. And we're going to support you if something, for some reason, stops you from doing it. You will receive support no matter what. Okay? So, now that we've uncovered why self-trust is so hard and how to rebuild it, it really is about action. Okay? I know that I have said this before. These lives, the coaching sessions, the resources that I give you, they're great and they work. They've worked for me personally and they've worked for my clients. However, they don't work if you only listen to them or hear them and you don't take action. If action was a love language, it would be my love language. So I really do want to see a comment, ladies. What's the one small way you're going to trust yourself this week? Or what is the one small commitment you're making to yourself this week? Pick one, just one small one without overthinking it right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Stop asking for validation and trust your gut. Trust the decision that you're making. Right. Do we have any questions? Love it. Look, we've already got some support going on as well. This is great. Pam's been doing her daily walking and she's going to continue that. I'm so glad to hear about that. I love it. Thanks, ladies. I will be with you every step of the way. Every step of the way this week. All right? So remember, midlife is not the time to keep doubting yourself. You've been doing that for years. You're here now. It's time to stop. It's time to trust your gut. Own your choices and step into your power. Reclaim it. Regain. Rebuild. So next time you catch yourself hesitating, remember, you already have the answers. You already have the answers. You have years of wisdom and experience and skills and strengths. You have it all. You just have to trust yourself enough to listen, to pause and to listen. Okay, let me know in the comments, are you ready? If you're committed to rebuilding your self-trust. Now, as I suggest every Wednesday, if you know another woman who needs to hear this, who is doubting herself constantly and is not trusting herself at all, please share this with her. If she is not in this group, invite her. If she does not want that, and that's okay too, tag her on my personal profile page, okay? And I will get this replay to her, okay? All right. Thank you so much for being with me. I always appreciate the fact that you take these 30 minutes to spend this time with me and you make a commitment. So celebrate that. You're doing the work. You're taking action. Now, mark your calendars for next Wednesday because we will be here at 5:30 again with a new topic. Okay, we will follow on. I will see what sort of response and feedback I get from today, and we will follow on from there. All right. Final thought before you go. You are the expert of your own life. The more you trust yourself, the more unstoppable you become. Okay? Much love. Enjoy the rest of your week and stay committed to your one small action. All right, ladies, take care. Thank